Hey there. I just put out a short on my Iliff's indicator. I'm Bob Iliff. This is so clever that I'm going to name this after myself, and then I'm going to tell you a story. But first, because I don't want to tease people, right? This is how you make it. And actually, this is the key to the story. There is a very famous fly fisherman who has an indicator that uses exactly the same yarn. And it has dental rubber bands. And I looked at that idea that there's dental rubber bands that I had to buy. And I said, no, I don't think so. Little things again, little freaking things again. And now I'll just melt the hole right there. And you can trim this. This is just hard plastic now. If you said, oh, I really want to get the lightest I can get, you just trim it. You still need the hole. You got to put your leader through there. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a story. So I first got into yarn indicators when I watched a Gary LaFontaine video. And I love Gary's stuff. I'm sorry. His caddis stuff is amazing. But I think his wool indicator video, I don't think Gary had to think about indicators. He was thinking about flies. And you just took a big glum of dyed wool, right? And you put, that double loopy thing and you cinched it in and it was a mess. And you looked at, your leader after you took it off and it had this, it wasn't sustainable. Let's put it that way. You couldn't change it and dry fly fish because that kink in your leader was just a nuisance. But I still went down to old Hobby Lobby and I bought some wool and I tried it out and I found something out the hard way. Not surprising. The wool, right, comes from a sheep and they have this natural oil called lanolin. And lanolin, just like a floating type dressing, that's what keeps it floating. Well, the wool at Hobby Lobby don't have no lanolin. They extract that lanolin and they sell it to the beauty stores and stuff like that. So that didn't work. So I started researching, other types of yarn, and I came across a couple. And by the way, the New Zealand thing, tubing and some little, I don't know. And it's still wool. How do you know you're getting your lanolin? What are you supposed to put lanolin back in? I don't know. So I looked up other yarn, and there's a very famous fly fisherman. And I actually know where his shop is. I fish the South Platte. And he uses the same yarn. But he needs like dental rubber bands. And the reason he needs dental rubber bands is rubber bands aren't very precise things. And, if you didn't get the dental ones, they didn't twist the same number of twists and cause the same tension. Now, there's others that use the same yarn and use O-rings. Of course, an O-ring is going to add a little weight. This is nothing but yarn. Nothing but the yarn, So, easy to make, cheap, less than a penny, casts like a dry fly, right? Drops like a parachute. I cannot believe that anyone, once they use these and make these for themselves, right, would ever go back. And I'll put a link in to this video that shows you, it's Hobby Lobby again, how you can buy this in any color you want. Now, I've done a two-tone here. And let's see if I can find the one I had anyway. The funny thing is, I had these in my pocket, and they're fluffed out. I ought to fluff this. This ain't a short. I can take my time. You just sit there and fluff this. You can also tease this out with your whatever, and that'll help fluff it. But anyway, pretty soon this is just going to be fluffy as heck. You do that on the water. I store them unfluffed because I'll always have a piece of Velcro on a toothbrush or whatever. Oh, here it is. It's right here. So I found out because I left these in my pocket that if you go through the dryer, they come out perfectly round. It's pretty cool. I don't know that perfectly round is doing anything but making it look like a thingamabobber. I really kind of like the mushroom shape a little more for landing on the water. But anyway, I'm maybe just make these up, fluff them, and throw them in your pocket and send the shirt through the dryer. So I don't know where I was. I was telling you about indicators. I call this Iliff indicators. I'm Bob Iliff because, I put a lot of thought into this. It didn't take me, it took me a few weeks to figure it out. But I'll never go back. And here's what I'm going to tell you should do. If you belong to a fly fishing group and you meet regularly, buy yourself a couple of skeins. I guess that's what they call them. 50 yards a piece, $4. Couple of 2-tones like this. I like the blue and white. All right. If I make them just in the white, they look like cottonwood floating down the river. Sometimes I'll do that. Anyway, lots more to learn here at Fly Fishing Mythbusters. And I left my glasses on, didn't I? I don't need them very much, but anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.